Hello, CProsU here. What we're doing now is the Unix PC that I brought to DEF CON for the Whiskey Pirate crew and had going there. We're actually going to take a backup of it and we're going to put it on a virtual machine. So you'll notice your top left, we've got a VirtualBox virtual machine with our Unix loaded. And it's actually running under sysadmin, SYSADM, the restore program. On the bottom left, we've got the actual Unix PC. It's running the backup program. I've got a iMation SuperDisk drive attached to the PC that VirtualBox is running on, and there's a real floppy drive on the 386. So we're waiting for it to calculate how many disks it needs in order to make a complete system backup of the system. And we've got our floppy disks right here, ready to go. I've just blanked them out after having a little minor snafu. You could probably see that all the setup on livecoding.tv, but we should be fairly smooth sailing from now on then. So, idea is do both these at the same time. As soon as this one gets done with the backup disk, throw it into the virtual machine, and actually we're going to have to make an image of the disk using RawWrite so we can import it into the virtual machine and restore it from there. And once that's done, we're going to make the virtual machine public so people can download it and see exactly what these people did to it. It'll be a lot of fun. There's a lot of interesting Easter eggs that people have inserted, whether it be their own name in a blank file or replacing something that never existed with just a funny thing. Like if you try and run bash for an example, you'll find an amusing anecdote there. Left by another one of the people who played around with this machine. Since there is no bash, obviously they put something there. So, just amusing stuff. Now, I'm still trying to do a lot of things with that machine, so it'll be a little bit more well-rounded, whether it be network drivers for Ethernet or the second serial port that I never figured out how to get working. We got the first serial port working just fine. We got a terminal on it. Life was pretty good, but I really wanted to hang 2 dumb terminals off of this machine for the extra fun. That's still something I don't know how to do. All I know is that it has something to do with with adding nodes and knowing the major and the minor of whatever it is, and then maybe recompiling the kernel for it to work properly. This is Unix System 5, release 4, version 2.1 that we're running here. And we're also running the Ethernet driver from an Olivetti 9141 Ethernet card. But I have not been able to find an Ethernet card that works with it because I don't know what chipset it uses. Everything online I've looked on doesn't show me. The drivers I have are good for a 9141, a 9142, or a 9143, but annoyingly not a 9144. A 9144 is a 3COM 3C507, which is something I have a lot of, but the 9141 is something else. So, if anybody out there knows what an Olivetti 9141 or 9142 or 43 uses as a chipset, I would really love to know, because then I could go through my ancient network card selection, get the network card working, and then get TCP/IP working, because I've got the TCP/IP stack from another Unix distro, and for whatever reason it works properly with this one. So it's just a matter of fitting all the puzzle pieces together. But until then, we're just going to back up what we got, put it in a virtual appliance so anybody can play with it and see what's there, and go from there. I have no clue if this is going to work, so you're here with me, and we'll find out. What I can tell you is that this will take less time than it did to actually install the operating system on the real 386. That took more than 5 hours to do, and basically we'll go from there. So hopefully once that's done calculating, we'll be able to start writing disks. So if you have any questions about this, let me know, and I'll attempt to do it. No, all of this stuff, I understand what's on those disks because I put them there. Those were brand new disks before I started messing with them. I might have had the network card drivers on it, but it's nothing that can't be replaced. I've got an entire set of, well, I can't say the entire set. I've got a set of Unix AT&T System 5 floppies. You can find that online. I will post a link for it in chat. Give me just a second here. And if you want to attempt installing it, there are some very funny VirtualBox things you have to set first. So let's think about this for a second. I believe someone posted a link on my YouTube page, so alright, it's just that one there. So for your wonderful pleasure, this is 30 floppies worth of Unix System 5 on 3.5-inch 1.44 meg floppies. This is just the images, so if you wanted to run on real hardware, you'd have to do like me and actually dump every file to a real floppy disk. And it's doable. Users are alright, it works fine. The Olivetti is where I got my network driver from, and I'm going to need to figure that out later. But this is real System 5, this is real Unix. There's even an unlimited license disk in there, but just a caveat, you have to install the 2 to 16 user license file before you install the 16 to unlimited user file. Can you imagine unlimited users on a 386 with like Telnet? It would be awful. It's something I hope to actually accomplish one year. But yeah, if you follow DEF CON, I was the guy who brought the Unix to it this year before being kicked out of DEF CON for hacking, but not really. Hopefully everybody can actually make everything work, and I won't be banned from every Caesar's Palace property in the world, but that's going to take some time and just careful maneuvers to make that happen. But hey, I don't think there's many people out there who can say they are escorted out of DEF CON for hacking, so I guess there's that. I'm famous now. Woo! Probably the worst part was actually, I got to keep all my equipment, which was awesome, so I got to pack it all up and bring it with me, but it still took out a lot on me because I had to get it going. Alright, so we're ready. We're going to strike enter. Good. That's a lot better than the last time we tried this. So we got a complete system backup in progress. Let me know if you can't read the text on the screen, either of them, because that would probably make me a sad panda. Okay, good deal. Good enough. I'm happy about that then. So we're writing the first backup floppy of 5. Maybe I can fix that. Tell you what, we'll lower the brightness on the monitor. Other way. And that should make it a little nicer. It's funny because it looks so dim compared to the camera. The camera like just pulls it out It makes it super bright. So, welcome to whoever wants to watch paint dry, because that's totally what's happening here. We've got Unix System 5 running on... Okay, good. Hang on, I'll get to you after I put the next floppy in. But we got Unix System 5 running on a 386. This is AT&T Unix System 5, 386 R4 version 2.1. And what I've done just now is I've taken our first made disk and put it in our SuperDisk drive. And so we're going to use raw right now to make an image of it. So we're actually going to read it, and we're going to call this one, let's see, we're going to call this one backup 01. And we're going to read it. So now we've read our backup file. We're going to install it in our virtual floppy. So let's see, where did I put it? I think I named it. I just said what I named it, and I didn't even care. Ah, backup 01. Uh-oh. Huh. That could be an issue. So, we've got an issue. Of course, maybe because I didn't call it an image file, it didn't like it. So let's try it again. So let's see if it was that simple. Yep, it was that simple. Thank you, VirtualBox, for not understanding that just because I don't add an extension that, well, anyway, the important thing is that we're doing a restore now, which is really cool. So while that does a restore, we're going to take the first disk out, put the next disk in. We're going to uncapture that. We're going to make this one backup02.image. Read that. Uh-oh. That's not good. Let's try it again. That's not good. Our second disk failed. Why did you fail? We're going to have to do this all over again, it looks like. But let's see if we can... No, that's not the problem. That's not the problem. I guarantee you that's not the problem. But let's try to read it just one more time. Nope, doesn't like it. So disk 2 is borked. Disk 2 is borked, guys. Alright. Oh, look, it only took 4 disks. So, alright, so disk 2 is borked, annoyingly. So let's get disk 3 and see if we can read disk 3. Disk 3 looks good. Alright, let's do it again. We'll use a different disk for disk 2 next time. Alright. Such is the way when you're dealing with vintage stuff, you know? But we only need 1 disk now. But we can't exactly just deal with it. So, we've got 1, 3, and 4, but we need 2. Which means waiting again for all this wonderful stuff to occur. So this is my bad disk. This is a blank disk. So we'll remake system disk 1, the bad disk. Oh wait, yeah, let me reformat that. So we stand a better chance at success. Let's do a complete format on that one. I mean, it's not like we don't have the time. Okay. So that's good to go. Let's do a complete format of the other disk too. We don't want any other potential failures. Okay, let's format that one. Okay, so we got 2 freshly formatted disks ready for operation. Disk 2 will fall on wherever we want it. Okay, so we're waiting now for the 386 to process its files, because what happened was our disk number 2 failed to read out of our backup set into the new machine because there was a failure. I might actually have to bust out a new piece of tech, which I got, which is... let me just double check on the wording before I say something silly. I got myself a SuperCard Pro from the Commodore convention, Convex, and we might actually have to use that to read the floppy number 2 if it fails to read again. But here's hoping that this just works out. We're going to rewrite the first 2 disks of our backup set and import the second disk into our live restore, and we'll see what happens. There's a slight possibility we might just have to redo the entire set, though, because I don't know how it calculates how it does it, but you'd think that the restore set would be the same as long as nothing else changed. But it might complain, so we shall see. Oh, I probably should change the, we're not really late night, it's kind of like midday. So why don't I think about what login I have. Because I don't remember. Oh, apparently that was it. So let us go back to my channel. And let's change the title of this. Edit. We're going to call this Post DEF CON System V386 R4 Unix with sudo. Good enough. Save that. And there we go. Yeah, my money's on a bad disk too, but it doesn't really matter. Just as long as we get our second disk in, everything will be fine and dandy. Hello, Danny Ketch. Hopefully I said that right. If you have any questions about the craziness going on here, please let me know. Fair enough. So just to let you know, what's going on here is I brought a system that I built, a 386. Yep, test. We see that. I'm really curious too about that. We will see, because I'm guessing what I'm gonna have to do is pull the I'm gonna have to pull the backup that's currently being restored and doing something else, meaning just re-blast the VM. We shall find out. Oh, there we go. Alright, we're going to back up disk 1. I can provide the disk images as well of the backup if you want to tear them apart. That might be interesting. So I'll RAR those and toss those in my Google Drive and post a link, because why not? Okay, now I said that was backup disk number 2. So we're going to go backup number 2. Obviously, we're going to let that one write and the second one write first before we get ahead of ourselves. And go from there. Hopefully, you're not too bored, because this is kind of boring. But it was just a pleasure to be able to provide these systems for the people over there to just play with. And, it's always fun when someone sits at the console and is like, oh, I know what I'm doing. And, I'll do that easy. And then they type something like dmessage and nothing happens. Or they go into VI and it doesn't work like they want it to. Or even the dumb terminal they're attached to, the backspace key doesn't work, so they have to set the terminal up correctly before that will work. So, it's just a lot of fun. And, people who haven't been exposed to these old OSs don't necessarily know what's possible with them. But more importantly, what's kind of neat is anything you can do on the System 5 rig over here, you can do it on a modern Linux PC. And it will basically have no problem doing it. But if you try and go the other way around, you're going to have headaches. But I think that, working in the limitations of a system will sharpen your mind, and it's a good thing. I learned a lot from people who were there who had messed with these systems. It was kind of a mixed expression. Some people were just like, oh, so cool, I used to do these back in the day. Others are like, oh no, not that again. I thought we were away from those horrible days. So now I'm not dumping that floppy, although I could dump that floppy, and we could do an image comparison later. So this is backup 1, take 2, and we'll read it and see if it'll actually read it, or if it has a problem. This was the bad media, by the way. So it appears that we just needed to format that floppy entirely to avoid a disk read error. So that's good. So we'll grab backup number 2 after it's done. Old tech is a lot of fun sometimes, isn't it? No, that was the bad disk number 2, and I just wrote disk 1 on top of it. After doing a full format on the disk, so it was more of a test because you can't just skip to a different disk. So I figured, why not find out? We'll actually find out more than one thing in the process of doing this. 1, if the backups come out consistent, and 2, if I have to redo the virtual machine. It'd be kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. I did a quick race on them after the initial issue, which turned out to be the right, the right axis. So we've got our disk number 2. We're throwing it in our drive. And this is take 2 on reading disk number 2. Well, it's going to overwrite the formatting anyway, but floppies are finicky beasts. They get upset about funny things. So now we've got our second disk ready. So we're going to do that. We're going to pick our new image, which is backup number 2. And we're going to see what happens. Good, it's reading the floppy, it's writing the hard drive. It's doing things. Okay, it looks like it's done. Because, VirtualBox is a lot quicker. So we're going to now pick our number 3. Oh, it's doing it automatically. That's kind of neat. Okay, so it's happy with that one. Now we need one more. And we should be good. Okay, so we've got our restore is now finished. So we need to exit and we need to reboot. Alright, so we're bringing down the console on VirtualBox. I could have done a command to make this go quicker, but you know what? We're slow here, so it's all good. I don't know if it'll come up WPIR Unix, but if it does, I'll be happy. If it doesn't, well, hopefully everything else will still be there. I've never done this before. This is the first time I've ever attempted this. So we will see what comes out of it. And I shall check my chat because I've been very, very bad about it. Oh, wait. There we go. Hang on. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, so that's done. Nothing new on the chat. Oh yeah, let's pull our disks out because we don't need any virtual disks in our way. Remove disk. Okay, system is down. We can now reboot. So we're going to do that. Okay, we're still at cPro Unix, so it didn't change that. We can change that to whatever we want to. Wait. Okay. We do not appear to have... Not seeing it. Not seeing any of the stuff that got added. Let's see. It's not an user. It's... Let's see. What's in Home 2? Okay. So the users are actually that got put in are in there, I believe. This is running on top of Windows 7 right now. We're actually running System 5 off of it, but ignore that for now. Let me try and figure out what has happened here. Let's control break this and figure out why things are the way they are. It could be restore doesn't work the way I want it to. So let's look at our home directory here. So we've got the same users, so it backed those up, but it didn't seem to back up the config. Well, I guess that's okay. I mean, it's just I remember there being a lot more stuff added to root. Yeah, there was. So here's an interesting thing. When we restored, we didn't get everything. So that idea didn't work as well as I thought it would, but I'm still going to post it up. It seems that it only backed up the user files. It didn't back up the actual system itself, even though it said it was a system backup. So your mileage may vary is the example here. So let's see here. But you know what? I'm going to... I think I can change the host name anyway. So we're going to do that right now. Let's see. We're going to change node name to... Alright. Looks good. I don't know what I'm doing, but it looks good. Save. Continue. Alright, it all looks good. Oh, wait, I guess I gotta do next page. Nope, we're good. Okay, we're good. We're good, we're good. F8. Okay, let's see that. Well, let me, I think you're looking at this in Mighty Frame, so I will give you a little overview of the system here. There we go. We don't have the two dumb terminals attached on either end right now. We're just running the Hyundai CRT and the box sideways. It's the same keyboard though. But yeah, it doesn't look nearly as retro without the old terminals, right? Alright, so we've shut this down. We're happy. There are things missing, but I'm not going to let that worry me right now. We're going to try and dump the hard drive later. The problem is that it's a 16-bit IDE hard drive, so... Okay, so that's set. We're going to shut this down. We don't want to do an ACPI shutdown. We just want to power off the machine. So we're going to take this. We're going to export it now. Export appliance, Unix. That looks good. We're going to name this Whiskey Pirates Unix. Or Whiskey Pirate Crew Unix. And we're going to export it. So let's see. Where did we export it to anyway? Okay, we exported it to documents. Okay. So let's go to documents. I will show you something that you'll like, Mighty Frame. Just give me a second. Yeah, I can probably do it with some of my older hardware and my Pentium 60, which I actually got to run System 5 okay. I've actually got a disk that works really well. But right now, what I'm going to do is get confused and not remember what I was going to do. Okay, so I exported Whiskey Pirates Unix. It's in its own folder. We're going to upload that to the Google Drive as soon as I find it. Unfortunately, let's see, date created. Let's just do it by date created. There's my Unix. There we go. Rename. Jpire Unix. Good. It doesn't have everything. We'll get that in a moment. And we're going to upload that to the Google Drive because we can. I've got a picture for you that I need to show you. I will get that after I upload it to the drive. Okay, good. File upload. And we want to go to here. And I want to go to... Alright, we're uploading the one item. We just created this, so I'm pretty happy about that. And I believe I had a friend who was asking me about stuff. Yes, okay. I'm going to show you someone else's pictures of stuff, including what I had set up in your display. You're just going to flip your lid on this one. So here you go, Mighty Frame. This one's for you. And I affixed a sign to it when I put all your parts in a pile. I think you'll really enjoy this. Let me know if you don't, but I think you will. Yeah, I knew you would. It's really good stuff. So we had a blast before we got kicked out of DEF CON. I should probably post these pictures to somewhere. Yeah, I'll post them to the regular chat. Why not? But we just had a lot of fun at DEF CON is all. We will be doing something similar next year, as long as I can get unbanned from every Caesar's palace in the world, or every Caesar's property in the world. So anything with a total rewards card, I'm banned from. It's kind of funny. Who gets banned from from DEF CON for hacking? But anyway, it is what it is. It did happen. It was a lot of fun. Okay, our upload is complete. I am going to share it now for everybody to have fun with. All you gotta do is have VirtualBox, and you'll be able to download this and import it as an appliance. Google Drive is kind of retarded, I am sorry to say, and it will actually try and open this as like a zip file. And as a result, you know, unfortunately, so all you have to do to use this file is open up VirtualBox, go File, Import Appliance, and then put that file that I'm giving you in my Google Drive up on there. And then you'll have your very own copy of the restored DEF CON Linux that was running on the Whiskey Pirates machine. There are things missing from it, mostly from the root directory, and I've got to figure that out and sort that out yet. It did change the root password is password right now. There are a few extra accounts on it, just for fun. And that's pretty much it. So, there it stands. I think I've done everything I've set out to do, and we're good to go. So, I hope you had fun on my little journey of using the Unix System 5 backup and restore utilities and doing things that were never meant to happen. And this is CProsU out. Take care.